What if I told you that you don't need a lot of land, big tractors, or millions of dollars of investment to have a profitable farm? I've spent more than 20 years perfecting a system that turns a tiny, small plot into a thriving, money-making farm. And today, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how you can do it too. My name is J.M. Fortier, and I've been an organic farmer for more than 20 years. Heck, I've even trained thousands of farming folks into this kind of model. The funny thing is, when I started, I didn't have any land, I didn't have any investment money. Heck, I didn't even know what to do in farming. I didn't grow up on a farm, nor do I come from a farming background. Fast forward today, our farm generates 6-figure per acre with no heavy machinery, and we've been training thousands of people to farm this way. So if you're interested in learning how we do this, just keep watching. They say you need more than 100 acres to make a viable livelihood in farming. That's what it looks like. But just across the field is my tiny farm, and believe me, the bottom line is a whole lot different. Now I want to bring you across the street to my farm, which has a lot more biodiversity. It has ecological niches throughout. It's thriving and busting with vegetables we grow. And get this, it's making more than $300,000 in sales on less than 2 acres. So all of this, there's really, if I sum it up, 6 key principles and practices that I want to share with you that make this possible. Come on over. Okay, so more than 150K per acres, that's a lot. And one of the founding principles is that we grow high value crops. What are high value crops? It's not corn, it's not soy, it's not, any cereals, and it's vegetables that we sell directly through a farmer's market, CSA, we sell to restaurants, we sell to chefs, we're part of a food co-op, and we grow these vegetables that will be sold as fresh. So salad mix, greens, radishes, turnips, carrots with their tops on, all these different kind of vegetables that people eat in a week. And as a market gardener, what we do is we deliver freshly harvested local organic produce week in, week out to about 200 plus families that purchase directly from us. These are vegetables that have the maximum nutrient loads, so they're super healthy for our customers. And get this, because we sell directly, we get 100% of the value for each of these vegetables that we grow on this small farm. Before I jump to principle number 2, if you want to really see what these crops are, you can check out this video. These are the 15 most profitable crops to grow in a market garden. Okay, so that's that. But the principle number 2 is that this farm doesn't have a tractor. Okay, and because we don't have a tractor, everything is spaced and designed for optimal crop yield per square foot. This is really key, friends. What we're doing here is we're growing a maximum amount of crops per square foot. And this is an example. These are peppers. These are green and red peppers that we're growing, and it's tightly packed. The only surface that we have is to allow the crop to really grow well and to harvest. But besides that, we're using bio-intensive spacings. Bio-intensive spacings, which means that every crop that we grow on the farm, we grow it to the maximum yielding capacity. We're using every square inch to the maximum on the farm. That's really key. Growers, this one is definitely for you. From October 7th to the 9th, we're hosting the first ever Global Market Gardening Summit. It's going to be 3 days when we're talking about profitability, We're going to be talking about how to manage people on the farm. We're going to be talking about crop planning, marketing. We're going over everything that's relevant to the future of small scale farming. It's free, it's live, there won't be any replay, so make sure you're there. So number 3 is we're using space really well, but we're also using time to our advantage. What do I mean here is that we are flipping beds and having 2, 3, 4, 5 successions per year per bed. Okay, so this means that a crop that was, beautiful salad heads, we'll be harvesting them today, and then the next day we're planting something else. Either, radishes, turnips, carrots, whatever, but we're using the same bed space to grow more than one crop per year. And we're planning all of this really tight in the winter. This is called crop planning to maximize the potential. We know ahead of time when this crop's going to be in the ground, when it's going to be lastly harvested, by what is it going to be replaced with. And this is prepared ahead of time in the nursery. And then we're just flipping beds like this more than once. So we're maximizing not just space, but also time. And that's the art of market gardening. Number 4, friends, is we're pros. We grow professionally. So you'll see here on my farm, we have these crops, but you see there's a lot of things that people are not used to. First of all, we have sprinklers that are here to water each crop accordingly. We also have landscape fabric. That's how we deal with weeds in certain crops. We also have insect nets. That's how we're able to grow organically and not have to use pesticides on the farm. But there's so much more. Broad forks, walk behind tractors, 2-wheel tractors we call them, stirrup hoes, different hoes, harvesters. There's all these seeders, all these tools that are neatly designed and really ergonomic and really efficient, but they are made for human scale farming. This is really the beauty of market gardening, is we have an array of all these sophisticated tools that are made for growing on small acreage. This is appropriate technology, and this is what makes market gardening realistic and productive and profitable. So, number 5, I talked earlier about using space and time, but we're also extending the growing season. We're using an array of different material to grow earlier a lot of our crops, and that's really important. We're talking about being 6-7 weeks earlier at market with all these different vegetables because we're using caterpillar tunnels. Caterpillar tunnels are small, low-tech tunnels that you can move on the farm, placing them for early crops in the spring, moving them over, crops like peppers, heat-loving crops like tomatoes, and then moving them a third time over crops that are frost-hardy for late harvest all the way to November or December. Caterpillar tunnel is just one example. We also use these low tunnels. We use greenhouses. We heat some of our greenhouses for the nursery and for our tomatoes, but we also use other material like row cover. Row cover is just a game changer, and that really revolutionized small scale farming. Row covers are simply covers that you put over your crops and they will retain some of the heat. It's going to avoid having frost in the spring, and it's going to allow you to extend your season 2-3 months into the year. Okay guys, and my last principle, and this one's really important for people to understand, is that obviously we're growing a heck a lot of vegetables. This is one example. Tomato greenhouse is our #1 best seller on the farm year in, year out. But all of this works because we're direct selling all of it to our clients. And that's really the key. Market gardening works because we're direct to consumer selling everything. And that's where we capture 100% of the profit and of the margins on everything that we grow. And because we do that, friends, we're able to not only make a living farming, but make a good living in farming. And I would add to that, if you do market gardening well, and I can show you how to do this, that's what I've been teaching for all these years, you can not only make a good living, you can have a good life. So this is it, friends. Now it's your turn. What's stopping you from having this small farm dream? Drop us a comment, I want to read it. And if you want to learn the blueprint of exactly how to do this, click on the link below and register for the next cohort of the Market Gardeners Masterclass. This is there to help you in your farming journey, and I hope to see you there.